All right, guys, thank you for joining me tonight. I was pretty close to canceling tonight's live stream, only because I made a mess in the kitchen cooking tonight. But anyway, WTC, Flown Grown, thank you for the 5x5. Uptech, Ozark Prepper, Paul F. Laura, thank you for the 5x5. Mr. Landfill, thank you for the 5x5. Loretta, Kate Tay, Adam, Christopher, Gary, Winston, Old Man, Lexi, Prep to Adapt, thank you for the 5x5. Groundhog, Dobie, Krista, Smoke and Swamp, Wallace, Jeep Dog, Lisa, Sojourner, thank you for the 5x5. Raccoon, nice. Eric, Johnny, Not Bob's, Sojourner again, excuse me. Carl, Grit and Grace, thank you for the 5x5. Water Tiger, Jan, Kathy, Alicia, NJ Prep, Tom Tom, Aaron, Props, thank you for the 5x5. Thank you for the 9x19. Incognito, thank you for the 5x5. Elaine, Eric, and John, thank you for the 5x5, guys. Appreciate it. So, anyway, tonight's live stream, we're going to talk about the tensions rising around the world. Now, seemingly, the reason why I'm talking about that is because I think a lot has actually been the opposite. I think it's been pretty quiet, with the exception of what's going on in Ukraine right now. It seems like what's going on in the Middle East has died down. I won't say stop completely, because who the hell knows, but it seems to have died off in the Middle East. It looks like Israel made a peaceful agreement, so we shall see. I think Ukraine and would do. Thank you. I think Ukraine is going to follow suit, or rather, Russia's going to follow suit and make a peace deal with Ukraine, as long as Ukraine can join NATO. So, for a lot of people that were asking me earlier today, or at the very least, they were putting comments in the comment section and asking me, what do I think about what's going on in South Korea? What I think is going on in South Korea was, in my opinion, a knee-jerk reaction. I don't think it was anything of importance. Meaning the South Korean president, from what I understand, saw something, read something, and didn't like what was going on with an anti-state group, right? And so he called for a state of emergency and forced the military to enforce it, or told the military to enforce it, and then just a few hours ago reversed the whole thing. So clearly it wasn't that important. And again, I don't find any of that stuff important to us. Are we going to see Devotee? To my knowledge, I think they did stop bombing Gaza. I'm pretty sure they did. You said the Q word. Uptech, I know, right? The Q word. A lot of people, for those that don't know, well, I think a lot of you know what the Q word is, right? You know, when you say quiet in the in anybody's field, whether you say quiet in the police department, fire department, ambulance corps, whatever that corps might be, in the military, you say quiet, that's like the kiss of death, right? Especially in the hospital, too. You say, oh, it's a quiet night. Say that shit, and all hell breaks loose like seconds later. So that's why a lot of people are like, oh, you shouldn't say the word quiet, because quiet is like a jinx. That being said, when I mention how everything is pretty quiet around the world, George Ortiz, I have been wrong a few times. Yes, I will admit to that. All it's going, like, again, the nuclear war thing, do I think we're going to see in a lifetime? I think so. Especially if things don't calm down. Now, if things calm down, then it's going to take time for it to go back up to that high level of tension. Who knows? But I don't think we're going to see nuclear war. Will we see some kind of bomb get dropped in Ukraine? I thought we were, but now they're talking about peace talks. So things could be what's more messy, the Middle East or my kitchen? My kitchen. The kitchen's horrendous right now. I went through, so quick story. I thawed out a turkey that was in the freezer for 2 years. I was like, fuck it, why not, right? Let me, I guess, practice. So I made. I cooked a turkey, 15 pounds. So I have enough to feed myself for about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, if I portion everything out right. But I was just practicing, whatever. So I brined it, I did the whole 9 yards, and I went through a whole meal making it, and now my kitchen looked like fucking I had a food fight. So when I'm done with this, or the angry truth, it's going to be a while for me to clean it. On top of that, I gotta go for a walk. But back to what George Ortiz said. He said, "Don't make me do this. You've been wrong many times." Ortiz, I don't know what you're talking about, making you do what. There's nothing you can do to me that I'm not going to do to myself. Meaning, I'll admit when I'm wrong. Apparently, you haven't been on here long enough. That being said, you can go fuck yourself. Because I took that as a threat. And if that is a threat, anytime, anywhere, you name the place. Because I hate people who come on here and act like they're going to bully me or, I don't know, threaten me. I don't know, whatever it is. But again, you want to meet up anywhere, just let me know when and where. I'll even give you my fucking address, and we can get down to it. Now, if you're not threatening me, then I apologize for this rant. But anyway, our tensions building up around the world, it seems like it's dying off. It seems like things are getting, quiet, right? But the South Korea thing, people were like flipping out, not flipping out, but people seemed to be worried about something that had nothing to do with us. Like, that's their problem, that's their mess. And they reversed that mess in a hurry. Oh, the president did. So I have to read a little more about it, because again, I was in my kitchen all day. 15-day-old turkey, that just fucked up. It's 2 years old, and I just made it, and it tasted fine. We'll see. If I don't wake up tomorrow morning, it was food poisoning. I don't know about that last comment, but okay. Grit and grace, I am. I'm on a tear tonight. But anyway, so let's read a couple of articles about what South Korea did, and then of course, again, the whole will World War III start? We don't know anymore. That's the problem now, because everything seemed to be like, now, if something outrageous happens between now and whatever the fuck, maybe, but everything changes on a dime. Everything. Now, according to a YouTube channel, Russia is planning to launch ICBMs, I guess conventional warheads, into Ukraine tonight, right? Or now. Our time now, and then whatever time it is over there. We'll see. But again, I don't care. I don't care if they lob everything they got into Ukraine. I don't even care if they launch the tactical nuke. Though, if they do, things could get very interesting from that moment on. I do not think he's going to use a tactical nuke now. Because if Putin was going to use a tactical nuke, he would have done so already. Putin is definitely sort of a man of his words, but then he's not. Because he's been threatening nuclear war for the last 3 years now. He's been threatening the United States for about, 10, 15 years, maybe 20. So he's been threatening us for a long time. But outside of that, I don't know anymore. I don't know what we're going to see. Because things are changing, and for the better, it seems. So, again, everything seems to be all right. Trump getting into office is going to make things a little more concrete. We'll see. I hope so. But there's another side of me, guys. I said it before. I will say it again. I do not like Trump's pick for his cabinet, the people he's picking for his cabinet. I do not like a lot of them. And I know a couple of people took issue when I said something about Gates. And I said Gates was a bad pick because Gates looks like a douchebag. There is not one picture of Gates online where he looks like a nice guy. He looks like a piece of shit. I know a piece of shit when I see one. He is a piece of shit. That being said, Trump is not doing a good job vetting the people for his cabinet. He just had somebody else pull out their consideration for the DEA spot, right? The DEA top DEA official spot. That guy pulled his fucking papers. So he's not picking good people, guys, and I think we're going to see a different administration this time around. I just have this, and I said it before the election. Something was nagging me about him. I don't know what the fuck it is, but I think we're going to see a different dude in office. Now, are we going to see a better guy in office, or are we going to see a worse guy? I think we're going to see somebody worse. I think we're going to see somebody that's surprising the shit out of us. The DEA pick and the who was it? The other pick that he's getting backlash for. Let's see if I can find it. The DEA pick was the guy that pulled out, and then there was somebody. That was the guy. Sorry, that was the guy who pulled out. Chad Cronister. And he was a pick for the DEA, and he was getting all kinds of backlash from that, from the MAGA people, as they put us. You know, you vote for a president, and you're a MAGA guy. You vote for Kamala Harris, and you're a Harris Wallace idiot. Like, we just can't be people that voted for fucking bad picks. We have to have labels now on top of the labels, right? Rocky Stone, agree, I don't trust him anymore. Yeah, listen, guys, I don't know, he's picking people that have no business being in the positions that they're being picked for, or considered for, excuse me. But then he already picked two guys, and both of them already pulled their fucking papers that didn't need to be there. And I don't think Elon Musk needs to be anywhere in that cabinet, like nowhere in there. But nonetheless, there he is. Kash Patel, FBI director, I don't like that pick. I had to read more about it, but I don't like him. Again, something about him is rubbing me the wrong way. I could... Okikon, you have... Okikon, there's hundreds of people for him to pick from. That's the issue. He has hundreds of people. And the people he's picking, he's not vetting, because they all have some shitty background. I know one of the chicks he picked, she's against the Second Amendment. So, the people he's picking is just a bad feeling. That's all. You know, I just think that this is going to... Kashi is great. We'll see. Listen, guys, here's the thing. All of these people are in the political world. I trust these people about as much as I trust fucking Rosie O'Donnell fucking around us ribeye. You know? I mean, like, that's about as much as I trust these people. Any of them. These people are now in a position of power, absolute power, in certain positions. Certain people, like Elon Musk, never had this power before and might like it too much. RFK has been in this game for a while. He's about the only person that I sort of trust to do what he's going to do. Not saying that I would trust him with America, but in the position he's in, I trust him what he's going to do. Viveki, that guy, I trust that guy from what I know. But most of these people, guys, first and foremost, they are politicians looking to get a power position. None of these people are out here to protect America and the people, because if they were, there'd be a lot of things they would do for the American people, like, I don't know, lower our taxes. I don't know, make sure vets are taken care of at all costs. Not give money to the Ukraine. These people are not for American people. Now, we have to wait and see what these people are doing, but I think a lot of his picks are going to wind up fucking us. I just have this bad feeling. And he's making awful picks. Why, on God's green earth, are you not vetting these people correctly? It's not. Rhinos have been positioned as well. Yeah, Okikon, I heard about some of the rhinos. And again, why is he vetting these people? Why is he picking these people and then getting backlash at them and then turning around and going, oh shit? Because he's not doing his fucking job, or at the very least, whoever picks them for him is not doing their job. Because I don't think he's sitting down like, they'll be like, oh, what about this guy? And Trump is probably like, I don't know, yeah, okay. And not putting any real thought into it. Tom, do I think another pandemic is on the way? Absolutely I do. And I think, guys, we're going to see a multi-tier, I said this before, I'll say it again. I think we're going to see a multi-tier pandemic. We're going to see multiple diseases come out at the same time. We're already seeing walking pneumonia, which, granted, that could be a real thing and naturally released, but that's picking up the walking pneumonia. A lot that's coming down like wildfire, apparently. I keep getting new, not articles, but posts on Instagram where doctors are warning people about the onset or sudden onset, or rather, sorry, the sudden increase in walking pneumonia. They've never seen anything like it. And now I'm hearing about people having walking pneumonia. In my time in the emergency field, if you will, I might have known one or two people that had walking pneumonia. One or two. Now, 2024, I think 10 people that I know and or heard of have walking pneumonia. Then you have the bird flu. Let's not even get started with that bullshit. That's another problem that's starting to spike. Not spike, but increase. Excuse me. I didn't mean to say spike. Increase. Then you have these food-borne illnesses popping up all over the place. Callie Prepper said walking pneumonia is not normal. It is not normal by a long shot. Because, if again, I have picked up maybe one or two people that had walking pneumonia. And that's to come to find out later on that they were diagnosed with it in the hospital, that is. When you come back from a run, like, oh, did you know your patient had, you know? Anyway. I've never heard so many cases now than I did 10, 15, 20 years ago. The bird is the word. I've had walking pneumonia before. Did you get sitting pneumonia? Yeah, and they call it walking pneumonia because people walking around don't realize that they have pneumonia, so they call it walking pneumonia. I was like, okay. Listen, I never had pneumonia. I don't want it. But walking pneumonia doesn't sound as bad, and the symptoms for it is, you know, I had walking pneumonia in '89. No alien invasion so far. No alien invasion so far. And the alien thing, I don't know. There's too many posts on aliens, and they're like, it's demons, not really aliens, and I'm like, well, wouldn't the aliens be demon-like to us because we've never seen anything like it, and they're not of this world anyway? Anyway, not the point. I've heard of double pneumonia before. But it seems like more and more people are getting walking pneumonia. That's my point. That's my point. A lot of people will argue, well, you know, I've had it. Yeah, a lot of people have had it. But there are more people now, and doctors are warning more of it, and there are more kids getting it now. Again, I died 3 times back in the 80s and walked it off. Are you a believer of getting a flu shot? Tom, no, I will never get a flu shot. Like, never. Never, ever get a flu shot. Why? Why would I get that? I don't need it. Fuck that shit. That's just for bitches anyway. Bitches and pussies. I don't need the flu shot. If, you know, you have a vagina, then, okay, maybe you might need one, but no. I definitely will never get a flu shot. The only shot that I am considering getting is anything related to Alzheimer's. Though, I read an article today, I guess I should talk about on the Angry Prepper Fitness channel, which I am starting up again come January 1st. Just got so busy with these 2 channels, I lost track of that one. Anyway, belly fat might be the link to Alzheimer's. So I'm going to find that article again. I'll talk more about it. I'll actually talk more about it on the Angry Prepper Fitness channel because belly fat seems to be the connection to Alzheimer's because of a plaque, that grows on the brain that starts showing up 20 years down the line. But yeah. But anyway, the only shot that I would consider getting is for Alzheimer's. If I could slow that down, if I could slow Alzheimer's down, I absolutely will. I call it the full shot. Listen, if you take care of yourself correctly and right, fine. Shingles shot. Patty, yes, I would take my chances. I would take my chances with shingles. I know that they're trying to find out why it resurfaces, and some people said too much red meat. So I'll lower my red meat intake when I get a little older. But yeah, I'll take my shot. I'll take my chances with shingles. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna run out and get the shingle shot. I don't know. I'm just not about it. But anyway, guys. So I figure all of this talk about the Third World War, and we're in the Third World War, or it's about to begin, or it started now, and 2 years ago it started, but it's really happening now. But at 12 o'clock midnight on the 10th of December, it will start. Like, all of these articles talking about like when it's going to start, and it's starting now, and you got all of these people, whether they're a politician, a military general, or some fucking billionaire, all stating that the Third World War is here now, tomorrow, and yesterday. What? You fucking kidding me? Like, the shit that they go down is insane. Sheila says, everyone, and that's the thing, belly fat doesn't always necessarily have to mean you have a giant gut, but you can have like that skinny fat body, and that's fat on the body, and that's fat that wraps itself around a lot of the organs, they say, when you build up that much fat throughout the body. Susan D, I know about diabetes 3 is considered, they're trying to consider Alzheimer's diabetes 3 or type 3 diabetes, excuse me, I'm sorry. Type 3 diabetes, look that up. That's what she meant to say, type 3 diabetes, look it up. They're connecting a lot of sugar in the diet with Alzheimer's. So, I cut my sugar down drastically. I am down to 2 cups of coffee a day now. And I'm fucking hating it, by the way. But nonetheless. Alright, Privacy Online is back. Visceral fat. Yes, Uptech. Exactly. I'm sorry. This the Privacy Online guys, it's just funny. It's funny shit. I get a kick out of it when they come back up. Mod spam. Yeah, thank you guys. Honey and coffee. I'm gonna give that a shot, but whatever. Lexi, I use both cream and coffee in my coffee. My God, I use cream and sugar in my coffee. I'm sorry. Black coffee is good for you. Obviously, tea is good for you. I drink mushroom coffee, so there's no sugar in that. That's all mud coffee. And then I use a creamer with no sugar. Like 0 sugar. It tastes like oat milk, actually. And I put that in my coffee, my mud coffee in the morning. And then I'll have 2 cups of coffee throughout the day, and then I'm done. So I cut back on my sugar intake a lot. I used to go to war with coffee. Now, the trick at work is, when I'm at work, not to drink so much coffee. Switch to I don't want to use sugar-free creamer. I'd rather use 0 sugar, or because that sugar-free shit has that stevia, and I hate stevia. I really fucking do. Jason, I use heavy whipping cream with milk. Right? You cut it. It's a quarter heavy whipping cream, and then the rest of the way milk to a cup, whatever that is. And then there goes your half and half. It's coming. Wait, the other guy's coming. I know he is. He's gonna find his way back on here. I like it black, like my mood. You know what? When I French press my coffee, I can't drink it black. Some of the French press coffee I drink just tastes good black, and because I'm trying to, again, cutting down the sugar, I have to. Someone just said something interesting. David said, please do not get the shingle shot. If not, you can experiment what I've been through for the last year. I would not wish this on my enemy. So apparently David got the shingles arm ticket, and it didn't work out for him. So, yeah. I guess. Oh, all right. So then I guess, like I said, I wasn't going to take it, but thank you for making my point. Appreciate it. Alpha Horse said, use maple syrup. Okay. All right, all right. So anyway, guys, one of my theories with the threats from Putin is that this is an anxiety-driven threat. So all of these threats are to drive anxiety high, at least here in the United States. Also, part of him, I think, is bluffing. Not so much that he's doing it to drive the anxiety of Americans up, which it is, but I think he's bluffing. I don't think he's going to pull the trigger. Now, there is a health concern with Putin that people are noticing, and you will notice these health concerns with people of his age. He was doing a national speech, and his leg was shaking, and people were... And listen, they're analysts that watch these people talk. Every time Kim Jong-un, Kim Jong-un, that fucking Asian meatball, and when he talks, when what's-his-name talks, they often watch their body language. They try to see... He goes, I'm back. Very good, man. Yo, and listen, I get a kick out of that. She goes, I'm back, ha ha ha. Very good. Anyway, I think the WEF guys is just running the show. And maybe they're creating these problems to keep people off of WEF. Because what if the World Economic Forum right now is doing something, planning something, and because we're all focused on these threats that are not going to happen, but because we're focused on them, we're not paying attention to what the WEF is doing. Meanwhile, the WEF, guys, is looking at the numbers of depopulation, and I think they like what they see. The depopulation has begun, and it will take decades to reverse that. And they had a couple of articles on their website pertaining to low birth rates, excuse me. And they seem to be gloating about it on top of that. Meanwhile, we're all focused on Ukraine and Russia and their bullshit. So, again, like I said before, we also, these problems that are popping up, bird flu, walking pneumonia, various foodborne diseases, you got other diseases that are probably going to pop up within the next couple of months. It looks like they're going to try to do everything and anything they can to stop Trump from getting in office. If you get the single shot, use Technu cleanser and ointment to prevent bad scarring. You can get scarring from that? I thought it was... Alright, I didn't know that. No clue. But anyway, let's get into one of the articles where somebody is warning us about the Third World War because it started and hasn't begun and will be tomorrow, yesterday, and now. Whatever, these fucking guys. Anyway, this article is from a day ago by MSN.com. Hold on, I'll drop it in a link so you Negroes can read it with me or just read it on your own. I dropped the link in the chat in case you guys want to take a look at it. Alright guys, so World War III has already started. Military experts explain why they believe all-out global conflict is on the way. Either it started already, or it didn't, or it's coming. You can't say it has started, but then you believe it's on its way. Or it's underway, excuse me. Military experts claim that the threat of World War III is beginning to shape as the conflict in Ukraine continues to escalate. News.com, with a K, can reveal some analysts believe a larger conflict has already begun in more subtle ways than Western society experienced in the previous world wars. National security expert Mark Toth and former U.S. intelligence officer Colonel Jonathan Sweet shed some light on the ongoing conflict between Ukraine and Russia, President Vladimir Putin. He claims this third global... So no mushroom clouds or apocalyptic wasteland. Rather, it is war by thousand cuts conducted across multi-regional and multi-domain battlefields. Ukraine stands at the forefront of kinetic warfare, where Russian advance and constant missile strikes have pushed the region to the brink. Putin recently revealed a hypersonic missile and amended nuclear doctrine, which military experts claim signals a dangerous escalation. Because, again, Putin is thinking about using some kind of nuclear device, which is most likely going to be, again, a tactical nuke. Meanwhile, the Middle East continues to reel from the escalating conflict between Israel and Hamas. Now, Israel has already made a peace deal with Lebanon. Excuse me, not Hamas, but Lebanon. Let's see if they stop bombing Gaza. In the Indo-Pacific, China's aggression towards Taiwan and the Philippines also raised threats on the clash of that region, or in that region. Putin recently approved budget plan raising 2025 military spending to record levels as Moscow seeks to make up ground in their war with Ukraine. Around 32.5% of the budget posted on a government website Sunday has been allocated for national defense, mounting to 13.5 trillion rubles, or $145 billion, up from a reported 28% this year. Lawmakers in both Russian parliament houses, the State Dome, and Federal Council had already approved the plan. Chief Air Marshal Sir Richard Knighton, the head of the UK's RFA, believes that the current state of geopolitics highlights the erosion of the West's strategic advance. He feels major powers like Russia and China are strengthening mutual ties and building relations with the likes of North Korea and Iran. Knighton told attendees during a Q&A at a Free Air and Space Institute earlier this month, we are witnessing a return to great power competition. That's why I personally believe the shit with China and Russia, again, they're starting to break down. I can see them going to war with each other. Maybe not next year, not 5 years from now, but down the line, I can see those two fucking going at each other's necks. Just because. With the rapid advancement of technology and the economic, technical, and warfare capabilities of other major powers, we no longer have total air supremacy. With the sign of impending conflicts loom large, voices of reason, like senior Europe analyst Adeline Van Holt, offers a measure of perspective highlighting the importance of effective deterrence and prevention measures. Van Holt explained the revised nuclear use threshold and the Oreshkin missile are most likely intended to send a message to the West, but a nuclear escalation remains highly unlikely. Whatever. She believes Russia's hybrid attack through cyber sabotage and disinformation are tools of intimidation rather than precursor to outright war. That was the end of that article. And also there was a large drone hovering in Jersey somewhere, and now the FBI is investigating. The people flip out about the weirdest shit. I'll talk about that tomorrow morning on the Angry Truth Channel and the Wednesday Midweek Report. And then I read this article about the Ukraine top ex-official, talking about World War III has officially started. Now, I don't know. Again, things are dying down in the Middle East. They haven't stopped. Things seem to be dying down. Things were dying down between Ukraine and Russia, and then Biden did what he did. And again, there's also now the problem of Trump first 100 days being derailed because of a looming shutdown in Congress or something like that. And they were saying how it's going to make his first 100 days hard to do a lot of the things he wanted to do. And I'm like, of course, why not? But again, I'm not happy with Trump, and so we have to see where this goes. Now, 10 months ago, this article came out. This is what I'm talking about. It's articles like this where I'm like, did World War III start or didn't it? Has it begun, or are we entering it now? or is it never coming? So this article by MSN, which I'm going to put in the link so you Negroes can read along. World War III has already begun as warning issued no chance of peace for decades. Again, this article is 10 months old. In a sobering gathering of international experts at the Foreign Strategy Conference on UK and Global Security Scenario, after the war between Russia and Ukraine in central London today, dire warnings echo through the halls as scholars and veterans dissect the complexities of the ongoing conflict. Among the attendees was Marina Lynchevenko, wife of Alexander Lynchevenko. That's the is that the guy that was killed, right? That was poisoned? Sounds very familiar. Hold on. British nationalist, Russian defector, and former officer of the Russian Federal Security Service, who was a prominent critic of Russian President Vladimir Putin, advisor of British intelligence, and coined the phrase mafia state. The atmosphere has changed with a sense of urgency as renowned figures such as Tarasa Kuzo, Alexander Asatov, and Vladimir Skoru deliver grave assessments in the current geopolitical landscape. Their insights suggest that the war in Ukraine is not merely a regional dispute, but a harbinger of a much broader global conflict, one that has, according to some, already initiated the ominous spectra of World War III. So dramatic. A chilling narrative unfolded during the conference, which painted a picture of a world on the precipice where peace may remain elusive for decades to come. So Taras Kuzio, professor of political science at the National University of Kyiv Mohyla Academy, started by addressing the role of external actors in prolonging the conflict. He emphasized the impact of President Biden's policy on military aid to Ukraine by saying war would have been over if Biden didn't push for his drip policies on military aid to the Ukraine, the same as Macron. Kuzio drew attention to the stark differences in the approaches of various nations, pointing out that the UK openly supports the defeat of Russia. This is not just a war about Ukraine. The foundation of this war is that Ukraine doesn't exist, Kuzio claimed, urging that the international community revisit Putin's 2007 Munich speech, which was largely ignored. He did? Okay. The characteristics of Russia as a schizo-fascist state, accusing Putin of harboring grand ambitions to enter Russia's history following Stalin's footsteps. There's more to that article, but I'm not going to read it all because fuck that. But you get my point. This was started 10 months ago. The article I read about World War III has just begun. That was today. The political article, World War III has officially begun, that article was written 2 weeks ago. Right? Yeah, 2 weeks ago. So, either Third World War started or it didn't. Again, I pretty much don't give a shit when it starts. If it starts, fine. If it doesn't, who cares? It's not the end of the world. Anyway, it doesn't matter, guys. All of this shit that's going on right now, until we get something like a mushroom in the sky on all-out war with China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, then two places that are fighting in two different spots in the world doesn't constitute a Third World War. And I thought a Third World War is when they were all fighting under the same idea, not Israel bombing the shit out of Gaza because they want that land for whatever reason, and not Russia bombing the shit out of Ukraine because they want that land for a reason. It has to all be connected, and those two are not connected unless I'm missing something. Dirty Pato. I don't know what's going on in the chat, but thank you, Devil Dog. And guys, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down. Whatever it is, you know, it all helps out just the same. Thumbs up would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, so knowing that all of these experts are coming out and speaking out, not against the Third World War, but stating that it's not going to happen anytime soon. Again, I've said this from the beginning. I will say it again. I will say it till I'm blue in the face. This shit is nothing to worry about. Until something concrete happens, don't worry about it. Don't worry about the hundreds of YouTube channels that are warning you that something's about to explode or that war is coming. I'll warn you about war too. Don't pay it any mind. You know, I mean, I'll never sit there and be like, if I tell you guys, yo, listen, I think the shit's about to go down, everybody needs to X, Y, and Z, then maybe take that shit seriously. But I'm going to report what they're talking about. The Yardbird said, I think the chat is drinking. There must be, because a lot of this shit is very incoherent in that chat right now. I can't make out anything that's being done or said. I'm like, what the fuck is going on there? Anyway. I know, yes, right? Albert Einstein said that. I know not with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. Again, Canadian prepper claims World War III every other day. Listen, again, he's also listening to these fucking experts who say that it's going on right now, it's going to start soon. I'm like, but it can't be both. It's either now or now. It's not soon or yesterday. It's stupid. I've never seen anything like it. And it again, every time I see these articles, I'll read them and I'm like, and I've read a couple of them in the past. I'll read them for a live stream, but I won't do a video on it because I'm just like, listen, isn't something supposed to happen tomorrow? Or is it the 12th of December? Like, every week, who spiked the eggnog? Every week, man, you know, somebody's like, did you hear about December such and such? And I'm like, fucking no. What is it now? The Earth's going to crack in two? Was a black hole going to open up in the fucking sky and a million Rosie O'Donnells are going to fucking fall out of the sky? Like, what is it going to be? It can't be... Listen, guys, to suggest that the world is going to end every day, all day, every hour of the day is just plain insanity. Now, will I admit when I'm wrong? Absolutely. I was wrong about the political violence. I thought we were going to see some fucking outbreak and people carrying on and acting like idiots. No violence, people weren't carrying on and acting like idiots. My birthday's on the 12th, December 12th. All right, so then that's the end of the world? Your birthday? But anyway, I don't know, man. There's just... We don't know anything. And anybody that claims... Again, I said this before, I'll say it again. Anybody that claims to know what's coming is full of shit. Jonathan, so listen, here's the problem with fear-mongering, guys. People like it. I will point to Canadian Prepper. I will point to a lot of YouTube channels who are constantly fear-mongering. It's about the money, man. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about their pockets and their family. That's what it comes down to. You know? And that's what it comes down to. People like, but why are they always fear-mongering? Because if you look at the fear-mongering channels, look at their views versus my views. Not even close. Not even close by a long shot. These guys are getting 40,000, 50, 60, 100,000 views. Because they're about the money. And I know one of the fear-mongers personally. And he was in a financial rift. He had problems. He went down that road. And he's not going to turn back. And I understand he needs to make money. As long as he's not selling kids, raping women, or selling drugs, so be it. My bone to pick with CP is something different. On top of the fear mongering, it's other shit, you know, and full spectrum survival. But the problem with those two is that they like to say they're contacts. Well, my contact said, "We're still fucking here." Your contacts is shit. Holding your clipboard and talking about, well, I have personal information from a guy deep in the military, and he's telling me that there's going to be a nuke released on the 3rd of August, 2026. That is no fucking such thing. You know, but nonetheless, people believe it. So, again, the other fearmonger I know, he's not fearmongering, his titles are, but he's not. Because once you click into his videos, you're like, oh, okay, all right. He squares it away. But at least he squares it away. Other people don't square it away. They leave you thinking, like Cash Jordan, that's another guy. Like this fucking dude, the world, apparently, he titled a video, Hochul is setting up cameras. I'm pretty sure I have this right. Hochul is setting up cameras to tax MAGA supporters. I was like, what kind of fucking tomfoolery is this shit? Why are you telling people that Hochul is using the congestion pricing to, MAGA supporters? There was no connection to it whatsoever. But this asshole made it so, and his views he got a lot of views for that. So I had to say something like, yo, there's none of this shit going on that he's saying. But again, he's about the money. Scott Rush. You don't make money by subscribers. You make money by views. Subscribers don't mean much. It's the views you get per video. It's nice to have the subscribers and the follows. Don't get me wrong. I like it. I look at that number. I don't look at the view number on the videos. But sometimes I don't. But wait a minute. He says that fucking dude is annoying as fuck. Cash Jordan, right? Yeah, he's like a little Weasley dude. He has a punchable face. When you meet somebody with a punchable face, they are normally annoying. Normally. If you look at a guy and you go, man, I'm going to punch him in the fucking head, those guys are annoying. You know? But anyway, his videos are just like, they're crazy. I'm like, why is he titling it that? Then he puts up the post, like, the thumbnails, and they're like, he had a thumbnail up and it got me. Scott Rush. I'm not answering all these questions now, but the views per dollar is the way you're putting it. It's actually clicks, the amount of times they watch it, the commercials, and that depends. Your click per view depends on where your status is. You know, Cash Jordan has been wrong, ghastly and sick. He's been wrong on a lot of shit because I live here in the city. This motherfucker is like visiting the city. He wasn't born and raised here. He didn't know how bad it was, and he's making mountains out of molehill. Some of the things he was talking about migrants, he was correct. But other things, like when they were losing their housing and the money, he was correct on that. But that other shit, the fucking Trump supporters, enough. Like, I want to do rebuttal videos just because I'm like, dude, you're full of shit. It's not even that we're not even that close. New York City's bad. The migrant situation is bad here. And a lot of them are leaving, though. That's another thing he's not talking about. A lot of them are leaving because they lost the housing, here. They don't get housing right away. So they're moving to other states. They're not moving. They're moving to other states. So that's what it is. What is your social credit score? Probably low. Well, like Prep to Adapt, she says that he uses AI thumbnails. I use AI thumbnails now too. I go to a website, I look for pictures, ding, 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 and I'm like, oh, that picture looks appealing, and that's what I put on it. You got to get people to watch the videos at the very least. That much I know. And I can do another video on why you have to keep the titles interesting and you have to keep the thumbnail interesting to get people to watch. Other than that, you don't. And if you look at my videos, you can look at my videos now, my older videos. Look back about a year ago. Let's go a year ago. Look back at my videos a year ago. and look at my titles, and my titles were direct, and then look at the views. But look, when I kept the titles a little more interesting, look how the views went up. You got to, if you want to get people to listen to your message, you got to stay engaging. That's the problem. And you got to keep people like, what does he mean by that kind of shit, you know? Greg, it's not too late to do that. I don't think it is. I could definitely do downtown again. Because, listen, whenever you go downtown, they're everywhere. They're like fucking cockroaches. Just not in an apartment. They're on the streets. And they're moving around, and they're fucking sofritos, and they're burritos. They're all over the place. Your thumbnails are scary. They have to be a little, like I said, they have to be intriguing. You have to keep people intrigued. I will never be monetized. It keeps shit simple. I barely make videos. But if you have a message and you want the message to get out, that's how you get the message out. Unfortunately. That's the other thing. I don't have anything to sell. I really don't. People are like, oh, how do I, there's no, just watch my videos. Just watch the videos. Click the like button. Leave a comment in the comment section. That's it. That's all I ask for. Do I like empanadas? I do. Depends. I do like, but sometimes people put like too much onions or green peppers in empanadas, and I'm like, I don't know. I like more meat in it than the vegetables. But that also depends on where you go. Yeah, the Row NYC is it's actually 2 blocks down from the Port Authority terminal. But yeah, Grateful Prep NJ. Yeah, you're right. They're all outside of that. They're all over the place, man. Listen, Mickey McMurphy, I need a spot to go camping again. Like I said, the 2 spots that I used to use, you can no longer do it anymore, and one place was sold. But yeah, I want to get back out into the woods, man, and start doing those videos again. And those videos, guys, they score low. They score low, but I still want to do those videos because I like doing that shit. I want to get back to it. I'm going to get back to fucking freezing my balls off in the wood. Which, by the way, a YouTuber, this young kid, just died a couple days ago. Oh, no, I don't want to say a couple days ago, but I'm going to say a while ago. And he was doing outdoor YouTube channels, like survival shit. And the kid went out, and so I got to read the article on this kid, but he goes out into the woods. He's been doing a lot of videos. I don't have the kid's name. But he went out into the woods to do these survival videos in the wintertime, and apparently he froze to death. When they found him, his nose was broken, and he was outside his bag, outside of his tent, a little ways from it. So apparently he suffered from hypothermia, right? So that last stage of hypothermia where you start to get insanely hot, and your body's like, oh my God, I'm so hot, and you strip down to like nothing, and then you wind up fucking, you know? Yes, Kathy Abasida, he died in Europe, right? Was it like Switzerland or some shit, or Germany, something like that? Sucks that most YouTubers only care about the score. Yeah, well, listen, here's the... Chuseok? Is that Chuseok? Is that how you say it? Here's the rub. The score counts on a YouTube video because if you want the score to be high, your videos start ranking high. People start seeing you. The more people that subscribe, the more people that watch your videos, and your videos start scoring higher. They start getting thrown on other people's threads. So now somebody who never watched you before, you all of a sudden popped in their thread. If somebody watched How to Survive in the Winter Nights, the Angry Prep will pop up. You know, after you watch somebody else's video. And so it's just a fucking revolving, or it's an ever-growing thing with YouTube. So you want to score high to stay relevant so that people keep watching the channel. Because there's a lot of people on YouTube, a lot of people, that haven't lasted as long as I did. And I am still a small channel that's like doing okay. I'm not doing great. I'm not doing bad. I'm not great, I'm not bad. I'm in the middle. I'm fine. I'm fine with being in the middle. But there are people who couldn't even sustain the middle. And now their channels are relevant. And they're still pushing content, but no one's watching. Because I look at some of these people's videos and they only have like 1,000 views, 500, and I'm like, what the fuck? You know? So you just stay relevant, man. And Catskill and my prepper just said it. It's all about catching the algorithm. You gotta figure out the algorithm. The algorithm's always fucking changing, man. Always changing. So. Yeah, the breaking his nose, they think he ran into a tree. I think he ran out of his tent and then smacked into his tree. His father is going back out into the woods when the snow melts to find his SD cards. Apparently his SD cards are missing. They think he might have taken them out of the camera and thrown out. But now, if his SD cards are missing, he has a broken nose. Could something else have happened out there? Now, he was in a remote location, very fucking far from everyone else. He was calling for help. This kid was calling for help. The helicopters couldn't get to him because it was during a blizzard. And it was at night. And they don't fly in that type of condition, especially at night. So that's why they didn't wind up getting him. Then he was texting his friend. I'm not sure what he was using to text his friend, but he was texting his friend stating how cold he was and that he screwed up, that snow had gotten into his pants and his boots. He was sort of like chronicling what was going on with him via text message. And then when they found him, he was dead. The one thing about the cold is you do not screw around with the cold. You just don't. I attempted to screw around with the cold a few years ago, and I paid dearly for that. And after that, I was like, never again. I will never underestimate the cold, and you just can't. You also have to know that if you are in a position where you're freezing and you have to walk back to the car, I would have packed my shit up and walked back to the car, or I would have walked back to the car with my blanket around me, my wool blanket, and then kept the heat of your body walking would have kept you warm enough to get back to your car. And then you turn your car on, start it up, driving around the parking lot or whatever you're in, and then fucking stay there. Wait till the sun comes up, and then go get your shit. One night, I spent the night in the freezing cold because I was being an asshole. I was being a dick. I was like, fuck this cold. I can handle it. By the next morning, I couldn't feel my foot. I couldn't feel my toes. My hands were shot. I couldn't use them. And I had to pack my backpack with my stubby hands that I couldn't use. I could not use my hands. And I was looking at them. I'm like, all right, they're not frostbitten yet, but I couldn't feel them. And my feet, forget about it. I couldn't feel a fucking thing. So I walked around a little bit to get blood back in them. And I was sitting there like, shit, what the fuck? So I stuffed my hands into the bag like I had nubs. I was like, and then I didn't panic. I handled it fine. I knew what I needed to do to get everything back moving again, to get my hands moving again, my feet moving again. I knew what I had to do because I knew that if they weren't blue yet, they were lightly blue. They were frost nips. And I was like, all right, I could still move them a little bit, but I couldn't grab anything. So I was like, fuck. So anyway, I packed my shit. I packed my bag. I rolled up my thing the best I could, and then I put my bag on and I walked. By the time I got halfway back to my car, I think it was a mile walk or 2 mile walk. By the time I got halfway back, the feeling in my feet came back, but I could still tell that they were still numb at the tips. And my hands were functioning a little bit again. I was like, all right, and now we're in business. Then I started walking faster. I got everything back, got to the car, said, fuck this, never doing that again, and then drove home. The next weekend, I ended up back in the same spot. So, and I handled it better. So you got to respect the cold. When it's cold outside, just assume you're gonna fucking die that night. That night, I was texting one of my buddies. He was like, "Yo," he goes, "It's minus. What was it? It was like -10 that night, -10." And he was like, he's texting me, "Yo," he said, "You're on the mountain?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Are you fucking out of your mind?" He goes, "You fucking out of your mind?" I go, "We're all right." He goes, "Shit." He goes, "I got a place down the road from you." He said, "You want to come here?" I'm like, "Yo, we're in the bags. We're toughing it out. We'll be okay." He was like, "That's not smart." I go, "I know." I said, "Yeah, I'm going to try to go to sleep. See you tomorrow morning. Or I'll text you tomorrow morning." I was up the entire night. The entire fucking night. And then I got up the next morning. The sun broke. I was like, all right, we got to make a move. I was with my buddy. I'm like, yeah, we got to make a move. He was like, yeah, all right, yeah, because he was in bad shape. He was more scared than I was. I wasn't scared. He was scared. He was making me nervous because he was scared. Because when people that are scared in the woods, they tend to do dumb shit. And I was getting nervous that he was going to do something like crazy, but he didn't. He kept his head about him for the most part. He was a little nervous, but that was the last time he came out in the cold. I don't think he'll ever do that again. And he told me last year, he was like, yeah, man. He goes, that night out there, he goes, I was scared. He goes, I thought I was going to die. I was like, yo, we weren't going to die. So we might have lost some toes and shit, but we weren't going to die. He was like, why are you so nonchalant about it? I'm like, because I've been in worse scenarios. That's why, you know? He was like, that was fucking horrible. So he never wants to go out again. But anyway, that being said, guys, I'm going to head over to the Angry Truth channel. Thank you for joining me on here. I will see you guys Thursday night for the doubleheader. Wednesday night, tomorrow night, I will not be doing the Angry Film Critic. That'll be the following week. When I hang out with a buddy tomorrow. No, not a buddy. Just kidding. So, yeah, I'll see you guys Thursday for the doubleheader and Wednesday morning for the midweek report. And other than that, guys, thank you for watching.